As parts of Luzon reel from the effects of Typhoon Ulysses, the president and other officials still managed to crack sex jokes, angering Filipinos online. In a situation briefing Sunday, November 15 on Typhoon Ulysses' international name VAMCO, President Rodrigo Duterte jokes about a local official in Camarines Sur who was his classmate in law school.
Naubos ang panahon niya sa medyo tumanda na. Nakakatanda talaga yan. Sobrang babae, nakakatanda yan.
Sabi nga po ni Kong Elre, undersex daw po ako. Undersex. Kaya kung pwede po, gawin mo na akong secretary para hindi na undersex.
But presidential spokesperson Harry Roque defends Duterte Monday, November 16, saying Filipinos accept his sexist jokes because it's his way of coping with adversity.
Ugali na ng Pilipino na bagamat marami tayong pagsubok, sinusubukan pa rin natin na i-lighten yung ating mga problema. So, hindi lang naman po yan gawain ng ating presidente, hindi yung pagkakait sa kanya na dahil sunod-sunod ang nakikita niyang trahedya, kahit papano humanap ng dahilan para magkaroon ng konting break from yung mga kalamidad ng binibisita niya.
Roque is also criticized after his video singing in a restaurant in Baguio City on Friday, November 13, goes viral online. It's the same night Cagayan province suffered massive floods. He defends himself, saying he's only unloading after a hectic week. Roque urges critics to go back to the most pressing matter at the moment. Meantime, Tuguegarao Mayor Jefferson Soriano apologizes to his constituents for his absence during the onslaught of Typhoon Ulysses in his city. While his city was suffering from floods, Soriano was reportedly in Batangas to spend his birthday with his family. In an interview with CNN Philippines, Soriano says he underestimated the situation. Interior Secretary Eduardo Año orders Soriano to explain his absence, saying the mayor may face administrative complaints that can lead to his suspension. Isabela Governor Rodito Albano III also draws flack on social media after lamenting the absence of ABS-CBN News during the massive flooding in his province and in Cagayan in an ANC interview. His brother, Isabela 1st District Representative Antonio Albano, voted to reject ABS-CBN's franchise renewal last July. The Health Department says displaced families must comply with minimum health standards even in evacuation centers to avoid a surge of COVID-19 cases. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire says Monday, November 16, evacuees should wear face masks, practice physical distancing, and wash hands frequently. She adds, the government made sure that each evacuation center has safety officers to ensure that minimum health standards are complied with. The DOH earlier said testing residents before they're transferred to evacuation centers might not be feasible due to the situation's urgency. It also recommended that local officials conduct symptom checks, transfer those who have symptoms to quarantine centers, and ensure that quarantine or isolation centers are separate from evacuation centers. The Octa Research Group notes the number of COVID-19 cases in Metro Manila continues to decrease, with an average of 490 cases a day. But with thousands now forced to stay in evacuation centers after a series of strong typhoons, experts fear a surge of cases might happen if minimum health standards are not followed. More than 500 students from the Ateneo de Manila University call for a mass student strike starting Wednesday, November 18, citing the government's criminally neglectful response to the past 3 typhoons that ravaged the country. The Ateneo's official student publication, The Guidon, reports the petitioners will withhold the submission of any school requirements from November 18 to 20 until the national government heeds the people's demands. This prompts the Ateneo's Sangguniang Council Assembly to request a 1-week class suspension and an academic workload reduction. On Sunday, November 15, the Office of the Vice President for the Loyola Schools suspends all asynchronous activities until November 21 and synchronous classes until November 28. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque downplays the petition and warns students they will fail. He says whatever the reason is for the supposed strike, the students lose their future and will not graduate from the Ateneo. In the De La Salle University, students also called for a 2-week class suspension due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the education sector. This prompts the university to suspend classes starting Tuesday, November 17 until November 21. Meantime, the following universities in Metro Manila already announced suspension of classes. President Donald Trump has yet to admit defeat in the US election. But with a word here, a slip there, he appears to accidentally acknowledge Joe Biden's victory Sunday morning, November 15. In a tweet, Trump says he won because the election was rigged. But he quickly reverses course to claim he won and again pushes unsubstantiated claims of mass electoral fraud while ignoring soaring coronavirus cases. I concede nothing. We have a long way to go. This was a rigged election. Trump tweets again Monday, November 16, claiming he won the election. Twitter flags this, adding a note, official sources called this election differently. President-elect Biden captured 306 Electoral College votes in the November 3 election, 36 more than needed to win the White House. Despite this, Trump aides say the president is preparing for a second term in office. Trump refuses to cooperate in the shift to a Biden administration, denying the Democrat both federal funding for transition work and vital briefings by officials like top government immunologist Anthony Fauci. An image posted on Facebook claims Tropical Cyclones Vicky, Warren, Yoyong, and Zosimo are near or entering the Philippine Area of Responsibility or PAR. This image is false. State Weather Bureau Pag-asa is not monitoring any potential tropical cyclones as of Monday afternoon, November 16. The now deleted post by Facebook user Albert Riego had at least 500 reactions and 900 shares. Aside from showing tropical cyclones Rolly, Shoni, and Tonyo exiting the country, the image also showed tropical cyclones named Warren, Yoyong, and Zosimo are close to the PAR, and tropical cyclone Vicky was already inside the PAR. But a satellite image of the Philippines from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration taken at 5:30 a.m. on November 11 shows that Typhoon Ulysses is much bigger than it is in Riego's image. Another satellite image of the country from Pag-asa taken at 5:20 p.m. on November 12 also does not bear any similarities to Riego's photo. Both images do not show 4 tropical cyclones inside or on the way to the PAR and another 3 exiting the country. Pag-asa weather specialist Ariel Rojas also clarifies, even though they forecast 3 tropical cyclones in November, this number has already been reached midway through the month. He says it is possible for 1 or 2 more tropical cyclones to hit the country within the month. The names Vicky, Warren, Yoyong, and Zosimo are part of the official tropical cyclones names given by Pag-asa for 2020. But the Weather Bureau only gives local names to tropical cyclones when they enter or form inside the PAR.